All right, hello there. Welcome to another We've Been Different video. Today we're gonna go straight into it again. Receiver sleepers for the 2022-2023 fantasy football season. First guy we got up here, a lot of great names, of course. 28 ranked, tier 4. This is Fantasy Pros rankings. Elijah Moore. Now, some of you might be thinking, why is this guy a sleeper? He's ranked 28 because, in my opinion, he should be ranked higher. I think people are sleeping on him. This is a guy that really I feel like is set in stone to be the receiver 1 for the upcoming season. Yeah, I know Corey Davis was. I believe he was the last season. But Elijah Moore, throughout his rookie season, as the games went on, he got more comfortable being out there. Targets went his way, especially during that latter part of the season. And he looked fast, elusive. Routes were looking really crisp. Made defenders look silly at times. This is a guy I'm really comfortable with taking higher than other receivers on this list. And if I'm being very blunt, I think that he's probably going to be tier 2 above. That's just me. I think the second year is going to be a big one. And a downside to it is you may not believe in Zach Wilson. And honestly, I'm not the biggest believer in Zach Wilson. But sometimes when a receiver is that good, it's really hard to mess it up. So let's just look at the people that are ahead of him that I'll tell you I'm comfortable taking ahead of him. Elijah Moore, Donald Mooney. I'm much more comfortable taking Elijah Moore. Jerry Jeudy. That's a close one. I'm happy to take Elijah Moore over Brandon Cooks. I'm happy to take him over Cortland Sutton. Guys like that, to where I don't necessarily want to take away from the players I just named, but I just think Elijah Moore is that good. I think Elijah Moore is going to be better than Michael Pittman Jr. Keenan Allen's just such a steady name and such a safety net that I think he's there for the right reasons. I think Elijah Moore is going to be better than Mike Williams. I'm really, really, really high on Elijah Moore for various reasons. I think he's going to be better than Gabriel Davis. Like, I don't even think it's close. Gabriel Davis had an amazing playoff game, 4 touchdowns, 200 plus yards. That was one game. You have to show up for other games. There's just, I think that it's a little overblown is all I'm saying. And Elijah Moore deserves and will show that he is going to be in a whole nother level compared to some of these other names. Anyway, on to the next one. This one, funny enough, is let me just talk about it. So Brandon Aiyuk, a name that everyone was talking about prior to last season, saying he's going to be the guy, he's going to be the guy, he's going to be the guy. Then he starts the season in the doghouse and just never really got things going. His rookie year, he flashed serious signs of elite capabilities, but man, oh man, if you drafted this guy, you probably don't want to draft him again, and I don't blame you. But when you're ranked around 100 on your ADP, I just feel like sometimes it's just too good to pass up on. And yes, you could be worried about Trey Lance and his arm and can he put the ball in the spot, but really think about who's running that offense. Kyle Shanahan drawing up the plays. He will be drawing up plays for Brandon Aiyuk. Deebo Samuel, as good as he is, he has battled with injuries. I know so has Brandon at times, but it's just no surefire thing that Deebo is going to be there all 17 games. And even if he is, I think that could honestly help Brandon because it'll take some of the best defenders off of him. And this guy can run. He can catch very, very well, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. Him, once the ball is in his hands, his rack is probably out the roof when he's healthy, and when he's not in the doghouse. So look forward to seeing what he can do this season. I'm very high on him this season. On to the next name. And with this one, we have reached Cadarius Toney, tier 46. One of the biggest concerns, I think, aside from maturity, is just how much receivers they got over there in New York. But you drafted this guy in the first round for a reason. I just don't see how you cannot continue with his development, because when he's on the field and when he's healthy, he can make plays. Had a game against the Cowboys, 10 catches, 189 yards. Did get ejected again. I'm not talking about his maturity here, but with the new coach in New York, and hopefully just a new scheme in general that isn't so much just put the ball in Daniel Jones' hand and hope that he gets it right. Like, we'll see how it goes, but I think Cadarius Toney is a name that his talent is far better than some of these other guys. He's a sleeper just because of his talent alone. He is definitely not a safety net. He is a lot more of a risk, but at his ADP of 111, I think that's a risk that's worth taking. On to the next one. And here we have, some people are going to roll their eyes. I know it. Yes, there's Juju Smith-Schuster. Yes, there's Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Yes, there's Sky Moore. But there's only one guy that's played with Patrick Mahomes for 3 seasons out of these 4 names, and that's Nicole Hardman. He is someone that's very, very fast and also very, very knuckleheaded at times with some of his decision making. Last season, he definitely had some issues with fumbling and has some plays to where you just think to yourself, what's going on? Like, you could see that, there's some talent there, but it just didn't seem like it was all there for him. But as I've said before, he is the only guy Patrick Mahomes has played with. There's over, I think, 200 or somewhere around 300 vacant targets that are gone now. And yes, Juju Smith is, in my opinion, the most definitive receiver one in that roster, and he's going to suck up a lot of targets. But Nicole Hardman is a playmaker, and he has dealt with injuries, so it's also another thing to kind of look back at and be like, okay, maybe that could be different. At his ADP of 152, I just think it deserves to be higher. I'm not saying, oh, this guy's a surefire shot. Just similar to Cadarius Toney, to where it's like, where he's being ranked at, he could be so much more, and which is why I'm saying people are sleeping on him. I don't think by any means that this guy is going to be a star, but I think it's someone worth taking just because of the fact that he does look good out there, and he's just got to clean up some of the mental errors that he creates for himself. Really, that's what it is. So we'll see what he does with Patrick Mahomes. We'll see what Patrick Mahomes can do for him. We know Patrick Mahomes is obviously the most skilled quarterback in the NFL. I'm not talking about best, just skilled. Nobody can throw the ball like he does. Sidearms, all this other stuff. Like, it's pretty insane. So Nicole Hardman, similar to how Patrick Mahomes are just fling that thing way back there for Tyreek Hill. I don't think Nicole can do that as good, obviously. But I think that there will be plays where you're like, dang, you can see how fast this guy really, really is. And he really, when he hits the burners, can put him on. So that's it for today's video. We got 4 names for you. Just to recap, Nicole Hardman, ADP 152. I think it definitely deserves to be higher. Where's that other name? Where Cadarius Toney, 46. I think he deserves to be higher. And with the other 2, I think Brandon Aiyuk deserves to be far higher. Well, not necessarily because of some of the names I'm reading ahead of him. Just when I hear it at first glance, 37, that's pretty low. So I think he has a far higher ceiling than where he's ranked at. But Elijah Moore, I'm the highest on out of everyone of the 4 names that I've listed, or the 3 other names that I've listed. Elijah Moore being the 4th. He is going to be a receiver 2 or above this season. I'm very confident in that. The only way that doesn't happen is if injuries occur, and I can't predict that. But yeah, high on Elijah Moore. The other 3 names, I think they deserve to be higher than where they are at their current ADP. But that's it for today's video. You know how it is. This has always been different. Always been different. And we out.